this the game that Brees wins the MVP award?
I think so. I think the kind of season that he's having completed 77% of his passes, balling out the way that he is. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is the guy that comes to everybody's mind right now because he's been absolutely phenomenal. But you consider the greatness of Drew Brees. We're talking about the all-time leading passer in NFL history, who has never won a league MVP, because usually when he shined, Brady was throwing 50 touchdowns to Randy Moss, or having another MVP caliber season en route to another Super Bowl appearance, or Aaron Rodgers had an MVP or whatever. Drew Brees is the one that has received the short end of the stick, per se, throughout his career. I think this year, with New Orleans knocking on the door, with them having the potential to knock off the Rams, if he puts forth a stellar performance and the New Orleans Saints are Super Bowl title contenders come playoff time, and we find ourselves talking about them against the Rams, I think that ultimately will usurp Patrick Mahomes, and Drew Brees will win the MVP, assuming he plays lights out in a game of this magnitude on Sunday.
He could play lights out. He's not the MVP. I don't think he's going to win it this year. Now, Stephen A., you'd have been better off if you said he's a sentimental favorite, because he's never won it and he broke the passing record this year and all these kind of things. And so, maybe they'll give it to him. But I don't see it. First of all, he always plays better at home. If you play daily fantasy, Drew Brees at home, take him. He's going to light it up. But that split home road points out maybe that he's benefiting by where he plays. Now, I don't want him. Drew Brees is one of my favorite players of all time. It sounds like I'm arguing against him. Maybe he's a top 10 all-time quarterback. I have him right at 9 or 10, and it sounds like I'm down on him or something, or he's not the MVP, or he's not quite Brady or Peyton or Rodgers or someone like that. But everyone roots for Drew Brees for good reason. He's so rooted. It's impossible to root against him. So I'm rooting for him. I hope he gets it. I just don't see it. First of all, Mahomes is setting records on an offense that's unstoppable. Secondly, the Rams look like the best team in football, and they have two candidates, Goff and Todd Gurley, who allows that play action, who allows that offense to go and is putting up ridiculous numbers. That, plus the fact that everyone knows Brees is putting up those numbers because of his home field advantage. Otherwise, the numbers wouldn't be the same. Will keep him from being MVP, even though he's a sentimental favorite.
Yeah, listen, I think he's a sentimental favorite, like you just said, but I think at the same time, when you look at this game, I don't think this game is going to be the telltale of Drew Brees winning the MVP. This is going to have to be about a body of work throughout the regular season. And winning, for Drew Brees, I guarantee you one thing he's thinking about right now. It's not about the MVP. It's about winning this game and home field advantage moving forward, which gives him a chance to become the MVP. But if they don't take care of business and don't win this game, then they're thinking about traveling to Los Angeles at the end of the season. It's about winning this football game and then setting yourself up. But we're going to value everyone from top to bottom, whether it's Todd Gurley or Jared Goff. We're going to look at their numbers cumulative at the end of this season. Then we're going to say, okay, who's the winner of the MVP? But it won't be just because of this game.
Well, no doubt that Drew Brees isn't thinking about MVP. He's thinking about winning this game. But last time I checked, Drew Brees don't work on first take. I do. So I'm going to think about it, okay? He can go out there and play his game. I think about it. He do his job. I do mine. My bigger point is this. It's games like this that you ultimately defer to decipher whether someone is worthy of MVP honors. When we watched Patrick Mahomes, it wasn't just that he put up numbers. What do we keep raving about? We keep talking about how he performed in the second half against New England, because you were going up against Tom Brady. You got to look. It's moments like this that define you during a season, a particular season, when you come to the MVP award. This is the game that everybody's going to look for Drew Brees to be big time.
In order for that to happen, the offensive line for New Orleans is going to have to be able to hold their own against those defensive tackles, which did happen last week, with the Packers, who were finally healthy. I thought that may have been the upset game, and they really did a very good job. You think New Orleans can handle those D tackles?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the game is going to be a four-quarter game, of course, but the one thing you watch when you're watching the Rams, their weakness is on that defensive side of the ball. And as great as Aaron Donald is, and Ndamukong Suh and Brockers, teams are running the football on them consistently. So if you don't think that they're going to go to New Orleans and Mark Ingram and Kamara aren't going to be a big problem for them, it's going to absolutely be a big problem. I don't think they stop the Saints as far as running the football, and I think that's right now the key for, just like the Kansas City Chiefs. the Achilles heel for the Los Angeles Rams is their defense. As great as Aaron Donald is, their defense is the weakness of this football team.
Drew Brees got to worry about Dante Fowler coming at him,
just
too.
added him.
It's not just the middle now. You got an edge rusher.
Real quick, you guys, I know Drew Brees has never won it, but you really think like fans want to see Drew Brees win it, not Patrick Mahomes, like the sexy taking the league by storm,
Absolutely.
the young guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Drew
They
Brees
want
is
to see
so
Drew. You know,
rootable.
listen, I think not only do they want to see Drew Brees win the MVP, but they want to see Drew Brees, Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. And I'm one of those guys that wants to see that matchup because if we're talking about Drew Brees' legacy, could you imagine? He already beat Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl, and now he can hopefully face Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. You're talking about leaving a legacy. That's what you want.
I don't think I think it'll be just as appealing for folks to see Drew Brees versus Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl too.
By the way, another
in terms
MVP
of
candidate we
history,
haven't
Brady.
brought up who has some sentimental value also, Phillip Rivers, who's never won
Yes.
one or won a Super Bowl,
Agreed.
who's on a
Yeah.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
contender.